Can you imagine sleeping next to someone who's plotting to kill you every single night? Lisa Fotopoulos never imagined that the husband she trusted most was the one who sent a hitman straight to her bed. And even more terrifying, he turned a 20-year-old girl into a killing machine using a horrifying videotape. This case isn't just about murder for hire. It's a story about ruthless psychological manipulation, about death staged like a theatrical performance, and about bullets fired under the lights of a video camera. Welcome to the Case Files, where we unveil the most shocking criminal cases in world history. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most disturbing cases that rocked America in the late 1980s, where wealth, ambition, and lust for power turned a peaceful beach resort town into the scene of brutal crimes. In this episode, we're taking a deep dive into the infamous case of the videotaped execution murders, the death video case in Daytona Beach, the story of Konstantin Kosta Fotopoulos and Deidre Hunt, an illicit couple who turned ambition into bloody tragedy. Part 1. Background, Paradise Coastline, and Hidden Darkness. Daytona Beach, Florida, USA, a city known as the world's most famous beach, the cheapest beach resort in the world, where thousands of American families flock every summer. But in the late 1980s, beneath the golden sunshine and blue waves, a dark story was quietly unfolding within the city's prosperous Greek-American community. The Greek community in Daytona Beach at that time was very close-knit and successful. They owned many t-shirt shops, restaurants, and real estate along the coastline. Among them, the Paspalakis family was one of the most prestigious dynasties. Lisa Paspalakis was born into this wealthy family. Her father was a successful immigrant businessman who owned numerous properties and companies. Lisa graduated from college with a degree in accounting. She was intelligent and ambitious. Following Greek tradition, after graduation, her family began searching for a husband for her within their own community. And they chose Konstantin Kosta Fotopoulos, a young man who was educated, charismatic, and ambitious. When Lisa and Fotopoulos married, they were considered the perfect couple of Daytona Beach, young, wealthy, highly influential in the Greek community. But this was an arranged marriage. On the surface, they seemed happy, but in reality, there was no real connection. Fotopoulos had big ideas about power and money. Lisa's family was just a stepping stone for him to achieve his ambitions. He once said publicly, "I deserve to have the same things as everyone else." In November 1988, Lisa's father passed away, a huge shock to the Greek community. According to tradition, Lisa and Fotopoulos moved in with her mother and brother, Dino Paspalakis, to help the family. They gradually took over managing everything in the Abai household. Part 2. Topso Bar and the Dark World. Fotopoulos wasn't satisfied with his current life. He wanted more. One day, he approached Tony Canderoni, owner of a bar in South Daytona, proposing to open a bar and pizza arcade on the beach. Tony agreed immediately, and they opened Topso, the only bar on the beachfront at that time. Topso quickly attracted attention, but not from tourists. When the sun set, the beach became the territory of drifters, street kids abandoned by society. Topso became a gathering place for homeless youth wandering the coastline. They were drawn to Fotopoulos, a businessman who owned a mansion and drove a BMW. To these kids who had nothing, Fotopoulos was the ideal role model. He told them he was a special forces soldier, a hitman for hire, a ninja, all kinds of nonsense that no adult would believe. But the kids believed it, and eventually, Fotopoulos became the mentor to these drifters. But why did he do this? The answer would gradually be revealed through a young woman. Part 3. Deidre Hunt, the Woman of Death. In mid-1989, a girl named Deidre Hunt, 20 years old, came to Daytona Beach from a small town in New Smyrna. She had no money, no family, and approached Tony looking for work. Deidre was very beautiful and friendly, so Tony hired her immediately. After she started working, the bar's revenue increased by 50%. She knew how to make an impression, wasn't afraid to dress provocatively, often wearing bikinis and swimsuits while working. Everyone wanted to be near her. And so did Fotopoulos. Since she had nowhere to stay, Deidre was arranged by Fotopoulos to live in a hotel on the same street, with him paying for it. They started going out, doing everything Lisa didn't want to do. A romantic relationship quickly blossomed. Lisa soon realized Fotopoulos was seeing someone else. She warned him. If he cheated, she would divorce him and he would get nothing. On October 25, 1989, a friend of Lisa's called to report that Fotopoulos was having an affair with Deidre. Lisa immediately threatened divorce. That's when Fotopoulos realized that if they divorced, he would lose everything. And from here, the sinister plan began to take shape. Part 4. The First Murder. The Death Video. Before plotting to kill Lisa, Fotopoulos had already committed another murder, one that was captured on video. Mark Kevin Ramsey, 19 years old, was a drifter from North Carolina who had worked for Fotopoulos at Topso. According to Deidre Hunt's testimony and court documents, Ramsey knew about Fotopoulos' counterfeiting activities and was planning to blackmail him. On October 20, 1989, Fotopoulos, Hunt, and Ramsey drove to a remote shooting range. Fotopoulos told Ramsey he would be joining a Hunter and Assassin Club, a secret organization that Fotopoulos had made up. Ramsey believed it. He was tied to a leaning tree. Then, Fotopoulos handed Hunt a .22 caliber pistol with a silencer attached. He held the video camera, turned on the light, and stepped back. According to Hunt's testimony, he said, "If I didn't shoot, I'd be the next one to die." Hunt stepped forward. She pulled the gun from her waistband. 3 shots to the chest, 1 shot to the left temple. Ramsey was still alive. Fotopoulos stopped recording, grabbed an AK-47 rifle, and fired another shot into Ramsey's head, the final finishing shot. Ramsey's body was left in the woods, tied to the tree. And the videotape, Fotopoulos kept it, not as a souvenir, but to control Hunt. The morning after Ramsey's murder, Fotopoulos used the videotape to threaten Hunt. "If you don't follow my orders, I'll turn this tape over to the police." Hunt was no longer a free woman. She had become a hostage to the very crime she committed. Part 5. The plot to kill his wife. $700,000 in blood money. Fotopoulos began sharing his plan with Hunt. Kill Lisa to get the insurance money. Lisa had a life insurance policy worth $100,000, plus another policy for $250,000. If she died, the amount would double, totaling about $700,000. Hunt told police. He said she had to die. He wanted that money. But this time, Fotopoulos didn't want Hunt to do the killing herself. He asked her to hire someone. Hunt began searching for a hitman. She approached 3 different people, promising to pay $10,000. Among them was Tasia James, another street youth. But for various reasons, all the plans either failed or weren't executed. According to investigation records, there were 5 failed assassination attempts on Lisa before the final attack occurred. Finally, Hunt found Brian Chase, 18 years old. He agreed to do the job for $5,000. Hunt gave Chase a .22 caliber pistol and detailed instructions. "You have to make it look like a robbery. Break into the house, go upstairs, enter the bedroom on the left side. Lisa usually sleeps on the far side from the door. Shoot her, take some jewelry, then run out the front door." But there was one detail Chase didn't know. He was going to die too. Part 6. The Fateful Night, November 4th, 1989. Chase tried to break in multiple times but failed. The first night, he couldn't break through the window because it was made of shatter-resistant glass. He hit it so hard that the neighbor's lights came on, forcing him to flee. On the afternoon of November 3rd, Hunt called Fotopoulos to report the situation. Fotopoulos was furious. He even considered handling the window himself if Lisa's mother wasn't home. He also planned to open the basement door so Chase could break in easily. Finally, in the early morning of November 4th, 1989, Chase returned. This time, he successfully broke through the sliding glass door at the back of the house. He crept upstairs, entering the bedroom in the darkness. Lisa was sound asleep. A gunshot rang out. Chase shot Lisa once in the head. Fotopoulos woke up. He grabbed the gun from under the bed and shot Chase 5 to 6 times. Then he moved closer and shot Chase again to make sure he was dead. Chase lay face down in a pool of blood, a gun fallen near his feet. Lisa was rushed to the emergency room immediately. She was critically injured, on the verge of death, uncertain if she would survive. Meanwhile, Fotopoulos called his lawyer and said, "I won't be arrested. He shot Lisa. I was just protecting my wife and my home." The lawyer replied, "If that's true, you won't be charged with murder. You'll be considered a hero." And indeed, Fotopoulos was seen as the hero who saved his wife from a killer's hands. Part 7. Investigation. The truth gradually unfolds. The hospital announced that Lisa was alive. The entire city breathed a sigh of relief. Few people survive a gunshot to the head. But when investigating the crime scene, police began noticing many strange things. Suspicious sign number 1. The sliding glass door frame at the back of the house was broken, but glass shards were found both inside and outside, not consistent with a natural break from a break-in. Sign number 2. The intruder went upstairs without taking any valuables from the ground floor. Sign number 3. The intruder entered the bedroom and shot the person lying in the position farthest from the door, Lisa, instead of the man near the door, Fotopoulos. This made absolutely no sense for a typical robbery. On November 7th, police received an anonymous call. "I heard someone broke into a woman's house and shot her. Then her husband shot the intruder dead. But before that, someone asked me to kill her. Her name is Lisa." When asked further, the caller stated, "The girl behind this is named Deidre Hunt. She's in a relationship with a man named Fotopoulos, owner of the Top So Bar." Police immediately summoned Deidre Hunt. Part 8. Cold confession. Hunt quickly stated she was willing to cooperate, but needed safety guarantees. She feared that if she revealed everything, Fotopoulos would kill her. One detective recalled, "When I looked into Deidre's big round eyes, I realized she was trying to seduce me. Clearly, she was someone with deadly charm." After being promised protection, Hunt began revealing the entire truth. She told about her relationship with Fotopoulos, about the plan to kill Lisa to get $700,000 in insurance money, about hiring Brian Chase. But what nearly made the investigator fall out of his chair was when Hunt blurted out, "Oh, and a few weeks ago we also killed a boy in the woods." The detective recalled, "I was prepared for any scenario, but never expected to hear a confession like that." Hunt led police to the crime scene. They immediately smelled the stench of decomposition. The body was found tied tightly to a leaning tree. Dental examination confirmed the identity: Mark Kevin Ramsey. Part 9. Undeniable evidence. Police searched the backyard of Lisa's mother's house and discovered a black bag containing an AK-47 rifle and a pistol with a silencer attached, exactly as Hunt had described. But the most shocking thing was Hunt's revelation. Fotopoulos had videotaped the crimes. Police searched the garage and found a bag containing videotapes. When they played them, everyone held their breath. In the video, Fotopoulos' voice rang out, "Turn around. Don't shine the light in his face. Point it up or down." They saw images of Kevin Ramsey tied to a tree. This wasn't staged footage. It was actual video of an execution. Hunt stepped forward with cold eyes. She pulled out a gun, fired 3 shots into his chest, then grabbed Ramsey's hair and fired another shot into his temple. The video ended. The room fell silent. The investigators had witnessed many horrific scenes, but this video exceeded their capacity to endure. They understood they had to bring both of these people to trial at any cost. Part 10. Interrogating Fotopoulos. The Pretender. Daytona Beach police summoned Fotopoulos. He agreed to answer questions. Do you love your wife? Yes. Did you betray her? No, absolutely not. Fotopoulos denied everything. He claimed he had no relationship with Deidre and that Lisa wasn't planning to divorce. A detective showed Fotopoulos a photo of Mark Ramsey. Do you recognize this person? That's Kevin Ramsey. He worked for me for about a month. He used to steal money from the bar, but I don't know where he is now. When police pointed to a photo of the corpse and said, "This is Kevin," or, rather, what's left of him, Fotopoulos coldly replied, "Doesn't look like Kevin." Although Fotopoulos insisted on denying the charges, police had enough evidence to arrest him. Part 11. The Trial. Justice served. On October 8, 1990, the trial of Konstantin Fotopoulos began. Lisa Fotopoulos, who miraculously survived being shot in the head, testified. She revealed the entire truth from the affair to the murder conspiracy. I told him, "This is the end. You won't get anything. Pack your things and get out of here." Deidre Hunt also testified against Fotopoulos. She provided details about how Fotopoulos manipulated and threatened her with the video of Ramsey's murder, forcing her to participate in the plot to kill Lisa. The jury was shown the video of Ramsey's execution, the clearest evidence of both defendants' crimes. Fotopoulos still wouldn't admit guilt. He insisted he was the victim, that he was only protecting his wife. But the jury didn't believe him. Fotopoulos's conviction: 2 counts of first-degree murder, Kevin Ramsey and Brian Chase; conspiracy to commit murder, Lisa Fotopoulos; other charges including solicitation to commit murder, armed burglary. With an 8-4 vote, the jury recommended the death penalty. The court followed this recommendation. Aggravating circumstances included prior history of violence, murder to avoid lawful arrest, Ramsey's case involving blackmail threats, murder that was calculated, cold, and without any moral or legal justification, financial gain motive, $700,000 in insurance money. Murder while committing burglary. Deidre Hunt's conviction: Hunt initially pleaded guilty to all charges to avoid the death penalty. However, the court still sentenced her to death by electric chair in September 1990. She was convicted of 2 death sentences for 2 counts of first-degree murder, 6 concurrent life sentences for solicitation to commit murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and other charges. In 1998, Hunt's death sentence was reduced to 2 consecutive life sentences after the court reconsidered her role as a manipulated victim. Part 12. Where they are now. Konstantin Kosta. Fotopoulos remains on death row at Union Correctional Institution in Rayford, Florida. He has initiated numerous appeals over more than 30 years. In 2018, Fotopoulos appealed to the Florida Supreme Court, citing the Hearst ruling that requires unanimous jury recommendation for the death penalty. However, the court ruled that the Hearst decision only applies retroactively from 2002 onward, and therefore doesn't apply to Fotopoulos's case. Deidre Hunt is serving 2 consecutive life sentences in a Florida prison. She was once a cellmate of Aileen Wuornos, the famous female serial killer, and her story has been mentioned in documentaries about Wuornos. Lisa Fotopoulos miraculously survived being shot in the head, a rarity in medicine. She recovered enough to testify at the 1990 trial, providing crucial testimony that helped convict both defendants. After the trial, she left the spotlight to heal and live a private life. The case of Konstantin Fotopoulos and Deidre Hunt isn't just a personal tragedy. It's a powerful wake-up call about moral degradation, the dangers of materialism, and society's failure to recognize potential criminals in modern society. In a world where people increasingly prioritize success, money, and status, people like Fotopoulos can easily disguise themselves with cleverness, eloquence, and external reputation. Evil can hide beneath an expensive suit and polite words. Deidre Hunt, a damaged young woman, once a victim who became a perpetrator. Society's indifference to unfortunate children can create killers with angelic faces. And without timely intervention, tragedies like this will continue. This case has been analyzed by numerous legal, psychological, and sociological organizations as a classic example of psychological manipulation crime, where the mastermind manipulates the entire game, and the executor becomes an emotionless killing machine. The final lesson: pay attention to, protect, and support damaged children before they become another Deidre Hunt. Thank you for watching the Case Files. If this case made you think, please like, subscribe, and share. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about this case? Was Deidre Hunt a victim or a cold-blooded killer? We'll see you in the next episode with another chilling true crime story.